Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another edition of Raiders Sports. And thank God the college football gods have smiled upon us as we have found out big news between the Pac-12 and the Big 12 that there is no merger. Now we've been hearing about some type of loose partnership between the Pac-12 and the ACC. We've been hearing about rumors that the Big 12 and the Pac-12 are talking about realigning some teams, and those rumors are officially dead. The Pac-12, I guess, called the Big 12 about a potential full merger. That would mean a 22-team conference, and thank God we don't have to deal with that. I would, because I don't know about you, but I'm sure me and regular everyday college football fan, the people who are outside the suits, who don't make these decisions, who are not ESPN or Fox, we don't want these major conferences. We just don't. I don't want 26 teams. Yes, I like the new innovations of the playoffs but you also have to, along with the innovations, you have to keep the tradition. And getting rid of the Pac-12, I don't want to see the Pac-12 die. I don't want to see the Big 12 die. I don't want to see any conference die. I want to keep them all in some way, shape, or form if we can. That's why I'm so happy when it was looking like Conference USA was going down. They were able to fix it by bringing some FCS teams up and inviting Liberty in. So I like that, and that's what I feel like the Pac-12 should do. I kind of like where we're at. With little motion. I'm not exactly thrilled with the USC UCLA thing, but I mean that's just more of a geography thing. If it was like let's say Kansas going to the Big Ten, I wouldn't care. That would be perfectly fine with me because they're right there by Nebraska. But thank God this didn't happen. Thank God we don't have an Oregon State and Washington State in the Big 12. Thank God and nothing against Oregon State and Washington State. I just don't like the idea. I don't like the idea of a 22-team conference. And thank God we don't have to deal with that. And so now at least for this channel, thank God, we're back to a conference realignment where we are looking at individual teams instead of full conferences. And so for me, that is just a breath of fresh air and some great relief. Now on the other hand, when we talk about individual teams, we've spent a lot of time on the Pac-12, but we also have news coming out that the number for Notre Dame to stay independent has been set. That number for Notre Dame is at $75 million. So basically the idea is if NBC can make sure that Notre Dame gets $75 million annually, Notre Dame will stay independent, and we don't have to worry about a 17th team into the Big Ten, or they go full membership into the ACC, but I think that would be most likely going to the Big Ten. But and NBC has said that they're going to do it. That they're going to do it as long as they can get a shoulder partner with it, which, okay, that news broke out, and now the Big 12 stopped with the Pac-12. And you can see where this is going because the Big 12 is looked upon as the favorite for that NBC shoulder programming to go along with Notre Dame. So this comes back to the Big 12, Pac-12 thing, or along with Notre Dame. So when Notre Dame's on the road, they'll just show a Big 12 game. And the idea is that this is going to be how they keep Notre Dame out of the Big 10. The Big 12 gets some added TV revenue from it. So it's a win-win for everybody. So who needs the Pac-12 when they're teaming up with Notre Dame? Exactly. So now it's back to, so Notre Dame gets this in 2024 with NBC. The Big 12 signs on to the NBC Notre Dame package to be the secondary programming when Notre Dame's away. And that way NBC doesn't have to go pretty much every other week without football when Notre Dame's not home. So that works for them. And the Pac-12 is now back to Are we going to accept the $300 million for all 10, $30 million a year per school? Or are we going to explore other options? And I guess the other option really was SMU, and it really didn't move the table, didn't move the number, I guess, in any great way for ESPN. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the Pac-12, because if they're looking at a full merger, a partial merger, or the Big 12 just taking up teams now. So I'd watch Arizona schools very carefully. I really would. And so this kind of the two Arizonas, Utah, Colorado splitting off might actually happen. And they just might get picked apart one by one at this point. Because I know I made my video about the Pac-12 staying together, but after this, I don't think, I think they have to at least stick at 10 or expand and see if you're not diluting the conference. I don't know.